Most of your PMP exam preparation will be focused on the project manager's perspective over the project. You will learn how a combination of processes, tools, techniques, and skills can help to deliver value for a single project. There is, however, a different perspective on project management that will also strongly influence project success, and it is also relevant for the exam. Organizational project management perceives project management from the organization's perspective. How can an organization influence the project performance and return on investment by changing its structure, policies, procedures, governance bodies, tools, or even culture? The organizational structure will strongly influence the project's performance. Different organizations will have different answers for critical questions such as: who controls the resources? Who determines the schedule and budget? What is the reporting structure? How complex is it to manage communication? How stable is the resource allocation during the project? And, are project resources working within a single physical location? PMI distinguishes organization types according to the level of the project manager's authority. Basic organization types are functional, projectized, and matrix. The matrix type can then be broken down into strong, balanced, and weak matrix. A projectized organization is structured around and oriented toward projects. Authority over each project is exclusively assigned to a project manager who has full control over the budget, schedule, resources, and work assignments. Resources are usually allocated full-time to a single project and are frequently collocated in a common physical space. Unlike in most organizations, resources in a projectized organization do not belong to a department or business function. At the end of each project, resources are mobilized for another project, allocated to a resource pool, or released from the organization. Projectized organizations have as major advantages: clear authority over the project, clear communication channels, team physically grouped on same location, and high loyalty toward the project. When compared to functional organizations, projectized organizations have as major disadvantages: inefficient resources utilization, because resources are often duplicated across different projects. Challenge to transfer accumulated knowledge to future projects, because organization is not oriented toward technical specialization. There is a lack of a clear career path, and possibility of team members losing their jobs at the end of the project. In a functional organization, also known as hierarchical or vertical, staff is grouped hierarchically by functions, such as marketing, sales, and human resources. The authority of the functional managers over the project is clear, with each employee having only one clear boss. When a project manager is assigned to a project, he or she assumes the role of a project coordinator or a project expediter. In functional organizations, projects normally occur inside a single department. If the project spans different functions, the information and the decisions go through the functional managers involved. This distribution of project authority through multiple managers tends to slow down decisions and fragment the project into different interests, schedules, and priorities. Additionally, because people are organized by functions, the team is typically physically separated, which constrains the team development process and leads to the development of silos. Functional organizations have, as major advantages, clear career path for employees, clear communication channels, flexibility on resource utilization, organized around resources functional expertise, making it easier to develop and share knowledge, and easier communication and sharing because the team is physically grouped according to their functions. When compared to projectized organizations, functional organizations have as major disadvantages: fragmented approach because no one is fully responsible for the project, possibly slow project decisions, functional areas often adopting a silo mentality, showing a lack of loyalty to the project as interests, and challenge to control the project due lack of project accountability from the functional areas. The matrix organization is the most common organization type. It is a multidimensional organization that combines the function's vertical lines with the project's horizontal lines to better adapt to a project's challenges. Similar to a functional organization, functional managers remain responsible for their vertical functions, developing and providing the project with resources as well as technical expertise. Similar to a projectized organization, the project manager in the matrix organization is accountable for project success. There is, however, a shared authority over the projects in the matrix organization. This sharing will naturally lead to conflicts of authority over who is responsible for estimating work, selecting resources, managing resources, recognizing and rewarding resources, prioritizing the work of the different projects and operations, justifying unfavorable costs variances. Depending whether the authority is more concentrated on the functional manager or on the project manager, the matrix organization may be classified as weak, balanced, or strong. In a weak matrix, most of the authority belongs to the functional manager. In a balanced matrix, the authority is evenly shared between the functional manager and the project manager. In this organization, the project manager has to work with the functional managers to recruit, manage, and reward the team members. Finally, in a strong matrix, most of the authority over project decisions belongs to the project manager. Matrix organizations have as major advantages: resources shared among different projects and operations, project possibly crossing different functional areas and having a single project manager accountable for its success, higher loyalty toward the project than the functional organization, and project costs possibly optimized by sharing resources. Matrix organizations have as major disadvantages: conflict of interests between the project and the functional managers, tendency for a complex and unstable resource allocation, frequent authority conflicts over projects and resources, and complex communication channels. A comparative analysis can be made between the different organization types regarding project manager's authority, availability of resources, who controls the budget, and project manager's allocation. After reading about functional, projectized, and matrix organizations, you may have thought of organizations that can fit more than one of the types described. Some organizations adopt composite structures with characteristics of different organization types. For example, a matrix organization may adopt a projectized type for a specific business line that is developing projects on the customer's sites. This video was developed by XPM Consulting. XPM is a project management, agile, ITIL and leadership training company. Thank you for watching. We hope you found the video interesting, and if you did, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel.